All right, so we are officially live. All right, Facebook. Hey, Facebook. Hey, Instagram. I'm hopping on for a second time today. I got 10 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. How do you deal with, what do you do when people quit on themselves when you are in business? Especially for those of you building the home-based business industry, you're bringing partners into your business with you, and you're just dealing with a lot of folks that quit. They give up on themselves or whatever it is. In our book, that's what we think. We think they're giving up on themselves. So I'm going to talk to y'all really quick on how to keep going when you're dealing with these circumstances, and what is the mindset shifts that you need to have in order to know how to press through when other people quit on themselves. Because this is a very common occurrence. I've been in the home-based business industry for over 25 years. I've been a business coach. I've been in so many different businesses. It's not just the home-based business industry. It's in every business model there is. If you do the statistics on small businesses, 95% of them will, I don't know if it's 95%, maybe it's between 60 to 90%, something like that, not 60 to 80%, but don't last in the first 3 to 5 years. Right. So I'm going to talk to y'all really quick. I just had a couple of conversations come up back to back, and I was like, let me do a quick video about this. So here's the thing, you guys, when you get in business, no matter what business you're in or what business model you are in, but if it's connected to people and doing business with other people, what you're going to find is that a great majority of the people that you do business with will not last long for whatever reason. Something happens in their life and it causes them to quit, different circumstances, or they just don't feel like they can do it. They lack confidence, or, it's God, you can pull them out of a hat. It's going to be all kinds of reasons why people can't stick through business, why they don't, and why they quit on themselves. But what I really want to focus on today is not them. I want to focus on you. How do you handle yourself when you are in business and people quit? Let me tell you what you do. You keep going. See, here's the thing. A lot of us are often perplexed by other people's choices. But one of the biggest statements that I've made a declaration of over myself is that I will never let anybody else's decisions dictate my direction. That means that when I've made a decision, it's the only option. I don't care what happened with such and such, Sally and Tom and Bob and Kit and Mary. I care, right? You care about people and their circumstances, but you don't let their choices to influence your decision. And so I want to talk about what you can do differently to make sure that you keep going and that you stay focused and move forward. But before I do this, I want to give you guys some statistics. Now, I got to research these statistics a little bit more, but I'm going to I use these just as an example for you guys to get an idea of what happens to most people by the time they are 65. Okay, so listen to this. By the age of 65, 84% of people are dead broke, 8% are still working, 6% are doing well for themselves, and 2% are wealthy. Okay, I'm gonna do that statistic again. By the age of 65, 80, you guys, somebody type these in the comments, please. All right, by the age of 65, 84% of people are dead broke, 8% are still working, 6% is well-to-do, and 2% is wealthy. So that means the average population of people, out of 100 of them that hit 65, only 8 of them can actually take care of themselves. Only 8 of them have actually prepared for their future and actually had a plan. Only 8 of them thought far ahead enough to know that I need to be set up when I turn 65, right? Out of 100 people, 8. That is 8%. Which is a pretty big percentage if you think about it. Statistically, you usually hear about maybe 2 to 3, maybe 5% are actually equipped for retirement, right? But let's say 8%. Let's talk about the reality of most people. Most people live for today, okay? Most people are influenced by what's happening today. And most people can't see what the future holds and don't really put a lot of energy and effort into the future if they can't benefit right now. So most people don't really stick with much of anything but a job. A job is the thing that most people stick with because it pays their bills and it's the one thing that can actually sustain them. A small percentage of people actually are able to think ahead, deal with delayed gratification, and are willing to hold out for their future by planning for it and doing some specific activities to position themselves for their future. So when it comes down to dealing with people in today in any circumstance, you're not going to get a majority of people that are going to be committed to any one thing. It's just the reality. If you look at college, the college freshman that starts, all of them do not graduate. If you look at corporate jobs, turnover can be high. Not corporate jobs, if you look at jobs, period, turnover can be high. If you look at people who start off in sports, people who start off in the military, people who do all different things, you're going to have a whole bunch of people get started and only a small portion of people that actually see themselves through to the end. And so the reality is that most people don't know why they quit. Most people are actually committed to quitting. Most people live their life with expectation of pain, hardship, struggle, and strife. Most people are committed to being a victim. Most people love excuses. Most people expect to live a hard life. Most people are committed to their struggle. That is most people. The question is, do you want to be that rare percentage of people that aren't most people? If you choose to be the complete opposite, then you choose not to get yourself caught up in why most people do what they do. It means that you understand that that's a reality, but I'm not going to be most people. I'm going to be the few that did, the ones that went for it, the one that can handle delayed gratification, the one that is committed to the process, the one that's going to stick it out even though it's hard as hell, the one that's going to cry and sweat and deal with the pain of the process and the frustration, but know that it's all a part of the outcome. The one that is going to be diligent in spite of, the one that's going to commit in spite of, the one that's going to develop the discipline in spite of. Because we can't live for most people. We have to live for ourselves. And so one of the first things you got to do is decide that, hey, that's most people. It ain't going to be me. And if other people are attached to my process, what I have to understand is that it is a numbers game. Let me tell y'all about life, but let me tell y'all about business. For all y'all home-based business owners out there. And this is why I'm real. I can't explain it no other way but gangster about what I do in business. I'm real gangster about it. And what I mean by that is that I'm going to do what I got to do by any means necessary. Say yes, say no, say it quick. I got to go. Either you in or you out, but you're not going to hold me back. That's how I am in business. So it as much as I love people, here to help people, I believe in God using me as a vessel to help folks advance and transform their lives. What I don't do is allow people's life and choices to dictate my destiny. So there's a difference between me being here to help those and me being here to that get caught up emotionally by those, right? And I personally, let me tell you guys, and I've said this before, I've done videos about it before, but I'm emotionally detached from people's decisions. Doesn't mean that I don't feel empathy for people's decisions, but I am emotionally detached. Meaning, if you come to me and tell me 50 reasons why you can't, I'm gonna say, oh man, I hate to hear that. Well, let me know how things work out. And then the minute that I turn in a different direction, I'm releasing myself from whatever your excuses were because they're not going to be attached to me. I am not owning your excuses. And neither will I allow myself to fall prey to the victimization of whatever those excuses were that made you feel that you couldn't do it. And I also don't, and this is what I tell a lot of my partners in Impact Nation and a lot of my teammates. I tell them, I say, listen, y'all, my shirt's falling apart. little zipper. But one of the things that I tell my team at Impact Nation is that when you see people fall off, let that be your reason why you should. I just read an article that one of my mentors just posted about how the stock market is booming. But unfortunately, a lot of people in the Black community don't get to benefit from that because very few people invest in the stock market to be able to understand when economies look like this, really, there's a lot of money being made in other places. But most people are either intimidated or, or don't have the money or refuse to wait around. They can't handle the ups and downs of the stock market. And I just recently got involved. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm a pro at it, but I can honestly say it's exciting when you get money and now you give that money an assignment to go somewhere to grow. It's exciting when you get money and you realize, okay, I immediately am going to shave off whatever this is and put it away to elevate my life. See, most of us don't want to do that. Most of us want to wear it now. We want to buy it now. We want to have it now. We want to tell it now. We want to show it now. We don't want to wait it out. We can't handle the opposition, the struggle. I don't want to say the struggle. I don't want to associate with that word, but we can't handle the process of development of growing something to something bigger. So instead, we pacify ourselves with immediate gratification. We give ourselves excuses why we can't commit to a thing. And then we live a life of victimization. Oh, I'm always struggling. I'm always trying to pay my bill. Life is so hard. Man, it seems like the rich get rich and the poor get poor. That ain't real. If you adopted that, that's cool. But no matter what background I came from, I'm gonna always be associated with the wealthy and the abundant. I just refuse to. Me and my husband to tell you, when we got married and they gave us our vows and they had for richer or poor, I was 20, I don't know how old I was at the time, 20 something year old. And they said for richer or for poor. The pastor kept saying for richer or poor. I said, nope, for richer or richer. Like, we ain't going to accept for richer or poor. We poor right now. It can't go nowhere else but up. And everybody kept laughing because the pastor kept saying for richer and poor. I kept looking at the pastor for richer or richer because I ain't going back. When we start from a place, the goal is to grow from that place. And that's exactly what our marriage has been, a growth process. So I say this to say, listen, when you get people in business with you that quit, when you get people that give up on themselves, when you got people who give you excuses why something didn't work, when you got people who even fussing at you, trying to tell you all the reasons why something don't work, here's what you do. You don't entertain it. You say, you know what? I'm sorry it didn't work out for you. I pray that you find what it is that will do great for you. You turn around and you keep it pushing. I tell people, make him your best friend. KIM means keep it moving, because you cannot pacify a victimization mindset. You cannot. Once upon a time, y'all, I come from ministry. My heart is really ministry driven. So the ministry side of me always wanted to help save somebody and convince somebody and drag. I had to learn that lesson. If Jesus would have drugged everybody around with him, he would have never been able to get to the cross, right? Jesus was quick to go up to the mountaintop and pray and disassociate himself from everybody so he can stay focused on what the assignment is and keep it moving. There were times where people was trying to hunt Jesus down and he was somewhere on the mountaintop praying. Like, I ain't letting these people drive me crazy, right? Because people will make their own choices. And so what I've learned, y'all, is that when you are in business for yourself, that's why they always say your why got to make you cry. Your vision has to give you clarity. Your daily activity has to push you forward. You have got to learn how to commit to the process for yourself. See, the most people join businesses and get in business in hopes that other people will believe enough with them for them to stay. But what really happens is when people quit, you're really looking for an excuse to quit yourself. So a lot of times you starting to say, well, maybe this ain't going to work because such and such left and such and such left and such and such left. Let me read these statistics one more time. By the age of 65, 84% of people are dead broke. 8% are still working. 6% are well-to-do. 2% are wealthy. 84% chose to quit. 84% chose to accept whatever happens to happen. 84% gonna be the ones sitting around saying what somebody did not do for them and how somebody victimization. 84%. I'm not that. I'm gonna be the 2% because I've chosen to. And that means that I look at what I do and who I am and and this is something that I really want to encourage you guys to do. Learn how to become a person of value. I call him my pastor now, Pastor Gines, but he says it, and Miles Monroe says it. Don't be a person that chases money. Don't be a person that chases wealth. Pursue to become a person of value. When you become a person of value, what happens is now you'll attract other people who are drawn to your value, that respect the value that you bring, that want to take advantage and grow with you. So if you want to know how to attract the right people in your life when you're doing business, become a person of value. So what does that mean? That sounds really lofty, right? Very John C. Maxwell-ish. How does that work in real life? It means that you dig into these books and you learn how to become a better leader, right? It means that you dig into God's word and you understand what these scriptures say about who God has planted you on the earth to be, so that when he says many are called and few are chosen, you know the role that you need to take on as a chosen one in every aspect of business. It means that when everybody else is going left, you learn how to go right and develop the disciplines of individualization. All right. The discipline of individualization means that I'm not moved by what the crowd is doing, because I'm always attached to what God has assigned me to do. And I'm connected to my purpose and my destination. So it doesn't matter who's going left, who's going right. I'm going this way, right? I'm going to stay on this path that I'm on. If people leave me and abandon me, that doesn't abort the mission. It doesn't abort the mission. It means that these are not the people that are supposed to go with me, right? And I told somebody this the other day, and that's why I say I get real gangster when it comes to my life. I'm very, very protective about my destiny. I'm very protective about who I'm called to be and where I'm called to go. And what that means is that I'm okay with people removing themselves when they are not qualified for the mission. I tell my team, I say, listen, when somebody gives up, they're saving you time by letting you know I'm not qualified to go on this path with you. And I look at my life like war, y'all. Maybe a little militant, but I do. It's a battle for your life. It's a battle for your purpose. It's a battle for your future. It's a battle for your mind. It's a battle for your bank account. And if I am going to war, right? If I'm going to war, thank you. There go my AP. I love you. Hey, Jay. But if I'm going to war, you guys, and if you think about war, I think about all these movies we've seen. You go through boot camp, right? You have all these people who get in the military, and Janetta, you was in the military, so I'm sure you can relate to this. But all the people who start off in boot camp don't last with you. They crying. They can't get up at the 2-3 o'clock in the morning and go run 5-10 miles. They sick and tired of people screaming in their faces. They kind of bow out. They're like, I can't do this. And it's a good thing, because when you're in the middle of war and you're facing opposition, if you're too weak to know how to withstand and know how to take your weapon and be able to protect you and the whole tribe of people that you are with, you might become somebody that is a risk to the rest of the platoon. I don't know what they call it, but you might be the cause of everybody losing their life if you're not mentally equipped for war. So if I think about my life, if I'm going to battle, I'm thinking, who do I want on the front lines with me? Who are the people that I want standing side by side with me when I'm fighting for my life and fighting for my future and fighting for my legacy? Who are the people that I want to have my back? If we are up in the middle of the night, we're trying to protect ourselves from the enemy, I need to know that no matter how tired you are, you always going to be ready with weapon in hand to protect our lives. I don't need the person that gets weak and cry and go hide somewhere and they can't take it and they giving up in the middle of the battlefield. I don't need that. Right now, this sounds big, and y'all know I'm not normal. Like, I don't talk this little baby talk of, appeasing you and giving you music to your ears to make you say, oh, you're just so amazing. No, I like to think about, because the life and mission that we have is that serious. The mission that God is giving you, the assignment that's on your life, the legacy of people that's waiting for you to pass the baton, your children and your grandchildren. It is that serious. You are fighting for your future. And if you don't fight for it now, what you're doing is subjecting your children to have to relive every doggone thing you went through. So whatever it is that you do, it is that serious. Because everything, how you do anything is how you do everything. If I can stay committed to a process that can produce a result when it comes to my business, if I can stay committed to a process that produces a healthier me so that I can live longer, if I can commit to a process of constantly getting devoted and reading my word and getting into these scriptures and to building up my mind and understanding the assignment that God has planted me here for, what happens is all those pieces of the puzzle begin to evolve me into a state that it's nearly, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's like I'm totally shielded and guarded to run this race because I'm fully equipped. So here's the reality. By the age of 65, 84% are dead broke, 8% are still working, 6% are well-to-do, and 2% are wealthy. Only 8% was willing to do the work. This is the bottom line. When people quit, they don't want to do the work. I just told somebody, I said, listen, I said, stop chasing people who need it. I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's going to always be broke people. It's going to always be people that need help. It's going to always be people that need government assistance. It's going to always be people that's living in unfortunate situations. I'm not saying that everybody chooses it, but a lot of us choose. I don't say us. A lot of people choose that path because opportunities are there before them, but they choose to be the victim and not find a way to become the victor. It's the reality, especially if you live in America. Especially if you live in America. It is so much opportunity in this country, honey. If you can't find your way out, you can go do a lot of stuff. I don't even want to go there. It's a choice. But it's always going to be a group of impoverished people because people choose to be victims and not victors. I was just reading the scriptures the other day in Proverbs. Y'all go read what the Bible say about lazy people. Go read. Look, I just opened it up. This is what I was studying yesterday, right? It says, people ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. This is Proverbs 19:3. Okay? People ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. Then verse 4 says, wealth makes many friends, poverty drives them all away. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Wealth makes many friends, but poverty drives it all away. Here's the thing, and I'm going to end right here. It's so many scriptures in here about poverty and people, wealthy mindset versus poverty people. It says, this is in Proverbs 18, it says, intelligent people are always ready to learn. Their ears are open for knowledge, right? You got to take advantage of opportunity. You got to take advantage of opportunity. Now, here's what I tell people. If you get access to people like me, if you get access to folks in business who want to help you change your life and you quit on that, you the fool. Period, point blank. If you get access to people that want to change your life, and if you get access to people that want to transform you and want to help you and hold you by the hand, and you quit on that to tell us what you can't do and what you don't got, you the fool. If you can't afford to go into your bank account right now and invest in anything that's $100 or more, but you've lived your entire life working, you got an updated phone, you drive a car and pay a car note, you got luxury items in your closet, you the fool. You the fool. Okay? I was just telling somebody, I said, it's amazing how many people can't afford to do something until they want to rock the greatest clothes. They got these car notes that are crazy, astronomical, right? They always crying broke, but you at happy hour buying $20 drinks, right? Your kids got Jordans on. You running around here, you got 65, 70-inch big screen TVs in your household. You not missing no events. You at concerts and you on planes taking trips, but you can't afford to invest $100, $200 a month into yourself. You the fool. You the fool. I make very good income, but I drive a 2011 car right now by choice. I can go get a free car right now. My car is a 2011. Why? Because when I get my money, I just put it away. Right? Here's my folder, right? And it says Cooper Budgeting 2020. Y'all see that? Cooper Budgeting 2020. All right. So when my money comes in, I have a spreadsheet. This is my spreadsheet. Now, the first thing you're going to see at the top is tithing, savings, debt-free, and investment. Tithing, savings, debt-free, and investment. Y'all see that? That's the first money that come out of my account. First money, whatever's coming into my account. Tithing, giving, savings, debt-free, investment. Those 5 things are the first things that come out of my personal account. Out of my business account, the first things that come out of that, I'll fold it, is profit, payroll, income tax, operating expenses. Profit, payroll, income tax, and operating expenses. So when money comes into my business, it's segmented. Out of my business money, I get paid. Out of my money, out of what we get paid in our household, we have multiple categories for everything. We have a housing category, utilities, food, transportation, clothing, medical. We get a personal allowance, recreation, emergency fund, kids activities, travel, beauty, sinking funds. Everything has an assignment. So even if I make good money, if that bracket that says transportation cannot take on $1,000 a month car note, which is the norm these days. If it say you only got $400 a month for transportation, guess what? I'm gonna get a car and I'm gonna get a luxury vehicle, but it's because my focus right now is on investments and debt freedom. Now, when the debt freedom is wiped out and I can go and get this luxury car, I'll get it. But my priorities are different. I'm not caught up in who I can show. I'm caught up in what I'm called to do. So all these byproducts of those things, they will support, the lifestyle, but my focus is on the mission. So for those of you who are wondering why people quit on themselves, it's because they ain't committed to no mission. They're not called to be in this race. They're not going to be a part of the percentage that can get beyond survival. 84% are dead broke by 65, 8% are still working, 6% are well-to-do, and 2% are wealthy. The end of story. So when you come across people who quit on themselves, doesn't mean you don't love folks, doesn't mean you don't appreciate them, doesn't mean you don't even feel sorry for them. What it does mean is you got to release them and let them become the product of their own storylines. If they are telling themselves that they can't afford it, they can't do it, they don't have time to do it, let them go into their own direction. But for those who see it and they understand the value, like the word says, intelligent people are always ready to learn. Their ears are open for knowledge. That is Proverbs 18:15. Then you make yourself available to those who are ready, willing, and hungry and invest in them. That's what I do. So but here's the thing. It's the masses. You got to get through the masses. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. So number one, focus on you, right? Who do you need to become? I always say that. Then number two, make a decision. And then number three, make yourself available for the hungry and the willing and release those who have become a victim of their own excuses. I hope that helps somebody. Bye. I hope that helps somebody. Bye. Have a good day. If you want to learn more, you can talk to me about Impact Nation, because I teach a lot of this stuff to my team and my folks about who you need to become. So that's it. Bye, y'all.